Dominique Morgan spent her youth surviving sexual assault, poverty, and homelessness all before the age of 17. At the age of 18, Dominique was sentenced to serve 8 to 16 years in the Nebraska Department of Corrections. Along with this sentence, Dominique was also diagnosed with HIV. Upon release from the Nebraska prison system, Dominique was presented with an opportunity to volunteer for Heartland Pride. The experience of volunteerism sparked great joy in Dominique, and after further introspection, Dominique realized that servant leadership would be the work her life had been preparing her for. Today, Dominique Morgan is an award-winning artist, activist, and TEDx speaker. As the executive director of Black and Pink, the largest prison abolitionist organization in the United States, she works daily to dismantle the systems that perpetuate violence on LGBTQ, GNC people, and individuals living with HIV/AIDS. Partnering her lived experience of being impacted by mass incarceration, including 18 months in solitary confinement, with a decade of change-making artistry, advocacy, and background in public health, she continues to work in the spaces of sex education, radical self-care, and transformative youth development, with intentions of dismantling the prison industrial complex and its impact on our communities. Ms. Morgan is an NAACP Freedom Fighter Award recipient and 2020 J.M. Kaplan Innovation Prize recipient. In addition to completing her capstone project for studies in the Georgetown University system-involved LGBTQ Youth Scholar Program, Ms. Morgan is a member of the inaugural class of the Black Futures Lab Policy Institute, 2020 Martin Luther King Living the Dream Award recipient, and 2020 Urban League of Nebraska YP of the Year. Dominique's first book, An Introduction to Sexuality Education, a handbook for youth system-facing professionals, will be released in 2021. Dominique lives in Omaha, Nebraska. Please welcome your 2020 10 Outstanding Young American, Dominique Morgan.
Thank you, everyone. I am humbled watching that video. I think we move through our work and we move through our world so quickly that we oftentimes don't sit in our accomplishments. And I know that I have a fear of not going forward if I sit still too long. And 2020 taught me that I needed to sit still so I could figure out where I wanted to go next. Earlier today, there was a question on the panel, on the round table. What would you say to yourself, your past self, 15 years before? And I shared that I was 23 years old. I was in solitary confinement in Tecumseh State Prison, 23 hours a day, 2 showers a week. And I was trying to figure out how I was going to maintain my sanity, but I was trying to find the will to want to get up every day. And to think about tonight and to think about every person who has poured into me for me to get here, to think about every experience that I've navigated that now I look at and I understand was meant to equip me to be here. I'm really proud of my journey. I'm also excited that my journey is really just starting. So many people, my accolades and the love that's shown to me is incredible. But in 2015, I was a server with a semester left of school. I was so poor, my water was off. I was showering at my gym. I could not get a job to save my life because every time someone sat down to speak to me, they loved who I was, they loved who I could be, and then they ran my background check. And it would always be the conversation of, oh, I just don't make the rules. Oh, I wish things were different. And in 2016, Ann Smolsky, who is the Director of Extension Services at Charles Drew Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska, she reached out to me and said she had been put into a job in sexual health and asked me if I wanted to be in that role. And I didn't think it was real. I had been let down so many times. I had given up the idea that I could have a career in something that I felt like I was called to do. But Ann gave me a job. Ann was the same woman 10 years before who had helped me file for assistance to keep my lights on at my home. I want to thank Ann. I want to thank Charles Drew. I want to thank the people who gave me an opportunity when no one else did. I think it's beautiful the way that people celebrate me now. But what I realized thinking about myself 15 years ago, I'm not that much different. And it's sad to me that Dominique at 23 wouldn't have been considered outstanding by mainstream people, by folks who consider individuals who are incarcerated, who have been incarcerated, as individuals who don't have the opportunity for transformation, as individuals who deserve one chance and not as many chances as they can try to have, that approach the work with people who are currently incarcerated or formerly incarcerated from a space of saviorship and this idea that we have to save people or that these people are at a deficit. People who have been system impacted are some of the most brilliant, incredible people I've ever met in my life. And none of them are lacking in any way when it comes to who they are as human beings. What I see every day is that we as a community are lacking in the ways that we show up for them. And I ask folks all the time, what if we did the work to support folks in the community who were struggling and navigating so many barriers before they were incarcerated? What if reentry services didn't exist and it was preventative services? Why does someone need a slip that says that they're going to be homeless in a week for you to help them pay their rent? Why do we position people to experience oppression in ways that will always align them to be impacted by mass incarceration? And that's the work I do at Black and Pink. That's the work I'm blessed to do at Black and Pink. So I just want to challenge you all. We have to abolish systems of oppression. We have to dismantle any spaces that won't allow people to be who they can be. And in my opinion, that's your greatness. And everyone's greatness is different. But this idea that greatness is cookie cutter is invalid on every level. I think this class is representative of the idea that greatness isn't a cookie cutter format. I also want to say that I did an extensive bit of research. In 82 years of this incredible award, I'm the first Black trans woman to receive this award. And that's not lost on me at all whatsoever. So I want to thank Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera and every trans Black woman who has either poured into me or is connected to me just because they are my sisters. I want to thank my mother and my father who are not here with me in body, but are always with me in spirit. My sisters, Katrina and Andrea, and my brother Ronnie. My found family, Ashley and Andrew and Raquel and Precious and Falana and Katrina and Melinda and Tommy and Daryl. I know that was a long list, but if I forget any of them, I won't be able to get off the Zoom and be safe. I want to thank the board of directors at Black and Pink for allowing me to lead and allow me to do much of the work that you all have amplified and saw as important. I want to thank the incredible Shauna Dorsey for nominating me and working with me through that process, to the Omaha JCs who honored me as a TOYA recipient in February of this year. I want to thank my staff at Black and Pink, my team. You can't be a leader if people don't want to follow. And those are the folks who get to designate you as a leader. And they allow me to lead them. And they're some of the most brilliant, incredible people I've ever met. I want to thank the 23,000 Black and Pink family members who are inside of prisons right now who depend on me every day. Thank you for making me question how I can be my best self in every way possible. And last but not least, I want to thank Nebraska Department of Corrections. I used to say that I lost 11 years of my life. Now I know that I was just preparing for something far greater than anyone could expect. So although their intention was to break me, the outcome was that they built me up and they created their biggest headache that they'll ever have. So I thank you. JCI USA for seeing value in who I am and what I do. To my co-recipients, y'all are so dope that it's just, I'm speechless sometimes. And I'm excited to connect with you all and pour into this work when we can actually be in the same room together. So thank you.